Good morning. I just wanted to give you another Friday update with some information on this Dare to Go Higher series. It's been an incredible time together as a church, and I've heard a lot of incredible stories of what God's doing individually as they deepen their faith. I hope that you're enjoying the devotionals and the small groups and the messages that we walked this series. We have some special things coming up that I wanted to highlight. This Sunday, we're going to continue the series. I've been praying over this message, and I believe that God has some things for us this Sunday. So I want to invite you to come and join us this Sunday. On Monday, we're going to have our Advanced Commitment Worship and Prayer Night. I want to invite you to that. Well, we'll be starting at 5 with some stations if you want to come and walk and pray in your own time. At 6:30, we're going to kind of gather together and worship together, pray together, and then make our first steps of commitment together as leaders, as followers of Jesus Christ, as a step in this journey that we're on. And so I want to invite you to come and be part of that time of prayer, asking God to do more than we ask or imagine. Next Sunday, the 12th, we're going to be having our Commitment Sunday, Celebration Sunday, and want to invite you to come to that. We'll be having a baptism during that service. We'll be worshiping together in one service at 10 a.m. and then having a meal afterwards. And we're going to prayerfully ask all of us to step and commit to whatever God has been leading you to. One of the key pieces over the next few weeks is this commitment card. And I just want to walk through it quickly for you so that you understand what it's about and why we're asking for that. On the front side of this card is some information about you that you can fill out, email, name, address. On the other side of this card is just a tool to help you prayerfully consider what God's asking you to do with your generosity. And so you may be you've never given. You're like, God, I want to worship you, and so I'm gonna move into a first time giver. Maybe you already give, and you're like, God, I want to be more regular in my giving, and so you might make that step of faith, being a regular giver. Or maybe you are a regular giver, and you want to be a percentage giver, and say, God, I'm going to commit to tithing to 10%, and so I'm going to step from a regular giver to a tither. Or maybe you are a tither, and you're like, God, what are you asking me to step next? And so you might prayerfully ask God, what is that next step for you? And then you might be someone who's already giving well above the tithe and being very generous. And maybe you're just praying about what's next. God, how do I make all of my life a life of worship through generosity? And so then you can step into that. And so that's that side. On the other side is really the process we're asking you to walk in this season. One, we just want you to pray. This is between you and God and what God is calling you and speaking to you about. And so pray. Listen to what you might be hearing God say, and then just step in that direction. And so there's some just ways that you can pray and seek God and step, and that's really the journey that we're asking you to do. On the other side is really the commitment, and so what we're asking you to do is to put in what you're currently giving, just for your reminder. And this also helps you know that this is not above and beyond your generosity. This is all. This is all in. This is all of the generosity that you are willing to step in over the next 2 years as we walk this journey. So write down what you're already giving. Write down what God has asked you to step into as you take this next 2 year journey. Is there something else that He's asking you, a percentage or a number that He's asking you to commit to? There is also a place in here where you can look at some of the stored assets, or something, maybe stock, or maybe it's something that you have at your house that you're not using, and so you're like, God, I could sell this, or I could give this to you. And so there's just a place there where you mark down some ideas of some stored assets that you could possibly be generous with. And so then you'll times that by 2, because it's a 2 year commitment. So you'll look at it from a 1 year and then say, all right, well, God, as I look at my 2 years, this is what I'm going to commit to, and that's what you write down on the bottom part of the card. And so that's what we're asking you to step into. We'll be making our commitment this coming Monday for our advanced leaders, and then all of us together on Commitment Sunday. And we're just asking God to do more through us as a church, and want you to be prayerful, asking God to work and move in you as well as our church.